Sit back, relax, and enjoy listening. After the doctor gave permission for SV to be taken home, her mother and manager carefully helped her into the car. The doctor reminded them she needs complete rest, a proper diet, and above all, no stress. Make sure she's comfortable and takes her medication on time. SV was still weak, but her condition was stable. They arrived home in the afternoon, and after settling SV in her room, her mother felt a wave of relief. Later that evening, SV's mom realized she needed something important that only RK could handle. Without hesitation, she picked up the phone and called him. "Can you come over, son? There's something I need help with." SV's mom sounded worried but reassured RK, "Don't worry, SV is asleep after taking her medication." RK hesitated for a moment, concerned about running into SV, but agreed and made his way to the house. When he arrived, RK quietly entered the house, trying his best not to make any noise. He had no intention of being seen by SV, especially not after everything that had happened. He cautiously looked around for her mother, hoping to slip in and out without disturbing SV. But just as he was walking down the hallway, a voice came from behind him. "Who are you?" The sharpness in the voice stopped RK in his tracks. His heart sank. He didn't need to turn around to know who it was. He froze, his throat tightening as he stood there, rooted to the spot. It was SV. She stepped closer, her voice growing harsher. "Did you not hear me? I'm asking, who the hell are you?" RK still didn't turn around. His worst fear was happening, and he didn't know how to face her. SV, now furious, stormed up to him. "Who the hell gave you permission to enter my house?" she yelled, her voice echoing through the hallway. She stopped abruptly when she saw his face. Her eyes widened in shock. All the memories of her encounters with RK rushed back in a whirlwind. The anger she had buried deep inside erupted as she remembered how he was caused so much problem for her in past. Each encounter, each humiliation, he was the root cause. Her fury grew with every passing second. "How dare you come into my house without permission?" SV's voice trembled with rage. "You're the reason for everything. You think I don't know? You've ruined my life. Do you have any idea what you've done?" RK stayed silent, his head slightly lowered. He didn't want to say anything that would escalate the situation, but his silence only made SV angrier. "You're my biggest problem," she continued, her voice shaking with anger. You're the reason I'm in this mess today. Why do you keep showing up in my life? Haven't you done enough damage?" SV's health was visibly deteriorating as her anger took over. RK could see her struggling to breathe, her face pale, but she continued to unleash her frustration. "Please calm down," RK finally said, his voice calm but concerned. "This isn't the time to be angry. Your health." The moment RK mentioned her health, SV's anger exploded. "Who the hell are you to worry about my health?" she screamed. "Your future husband." Her mother's voice rang out from behind them. Both RK and SV froze. SV turned slowly, disbelief washing over her. She had completely forgotten her mother was home, and she never, in her wildest dreams, expected to hear something like this from her. SV had never raised her voice in front of her mother, no matter how hard things got. She had always maintained her composure, priding herself on staying calm and collected in her presence. Her mother had never seen her angry or lose control, not even in the most difficult of situations. And now, faced with the reality of what was unfolding, SV felt her anger bubbling beneath the surface. But as soon as her mother spoke, her voice softened. It was instinctive, years of control kicking in. But even then, the weight of the moment made it hard to keep it all inside. "And Mom, what did you just say?" SV stammered, though she had misheard. Her mother approached, her face firm and unyielding. "You heard me, SV. He's your future husband. He's the one I've chosen for you." SV's world crumbled in an instant. Her mind went blank as she stood there, completely speechless. She had mentally prepared herself to accept the worst. Marriage to someone she didn't know. But this, marrying RK, the one person she despised, the one she blamed for everything that had gone wrong in her life, it was too much for her to bear. Her heart pounded in her chest, and her breath came in short, shallow gasps. Her vision blurred as the stress and disbelief overwhelmed her. She couldn't think, she couldn't speak. SV staggered, her legs giving way as she nearly collapsed. RK, who had been standing just behind her, instinctively moved to catch her, but she shifted aside, refusing to let him touch her. "Don't you ever dare touch me," she hissed, her voice trembling with barely contained fury. Her eyes were sharp and filled with hatred as she glared at him, giving him a death stare. SV's mom, in complete shock at her daughter's behavior, rushed to her side and held her hand, turning her gently so she could face her. "He was just helping you," her mother said, her voice shaky but filled with concern. She had never seen SV act like this before. SV, still looking directly at RK, spat out, "I don't need anyone's help. I don't need anyone to stand by me or care for me. I can stand on my own. I can live on my own. And if I can't," she paused, her voice now cold and biting, "I'd rather die than accept help from—" Her voice trailed off as she cast a withering glare at RK. SV's mother, her eyes now glistening with tears, stepped forward, her heart breaking at the sight of her daughter's outburst. "SV, is this really you? What's happened to my daughter? Why are you suddenly behaving like this?" Still staring daggers at RK, SV replied, her voice sharp as a blade, "Some people don't deserve your patience, Mom." She was so overwhelmed with anger and stress that the room began to spin. Her body couldn't take the pressure anymore. "SV, what's wrong with you today?" her mother started to say. But before she could finish, SV's body gave out. She collapsed, falling into her mother's arms.